I'm Carrie Summers and I'm the founder and managing director of Patricuti, and we produce fair trade certified hats. Some of our hats this year have been inspired by looking at utilitarian hats, so looking at sort of Italian moped helmets, looking at aviator hats, riding hats, and actually doing a different twist on some of those utilitarian hats. And then we have our Peacock Revolution, so taking inspiration from the dandies of Soho in the 60s, and the Proper Country collection, which is really country with a twist. So we have some fantastic deer stalkers with pheasant feathers through the top, all sustainable feathers, of course. Well, for Patricuti, being fair trade, a lot of people don't realise that fair trade actually covers the environmental as well as the social side. So as well as looking into labour standards and fair price, we're also really concerned about sustainability. So we do raw material mapping and eco-mapping of each one of our product lines. For fashion, really, most of the added value and really most of the exploitation in the fashion supply chain comes with the embellishment of the garments. You know, for us, that all of the finishing adheres to fair trade standards.
I'm Helen van Rees. I'm a fashion and textiles designer. I'm presenting my new collection for autumn-winter 2013. I started sourcing all these different yarns from leftovers of a knitting factory because I was inspired by the classic Chanel tweed twin suits, and their tweeds are made out of variations of different types of yarns. This is a model of one of my garments. It's all the recycled yarns, and it's the cubes on the head, and it's come from the contemporary art, the idea, and then it's a modern twist on the classic ladies' wear garments from Chanel. This is a cape, and it's also woven out of the leftover yarns, and it's in this triangular shape, and it goes around the front and the back with the same shape. For this collection, I also wanted to add more contrast of it. So you can see in this dress, I've added a silicone coating on the sleeves to get like super shiny, as opposed to the tweeds, to create an interesting effect. This is another very recognizable piece for me because I used again the 3D elements, but in a different way with black and white contrast and the three-dimensional piece coming out of the rubber. I'm also doing bags and other accessories, like the bags with also the tweeds and with the three-dimensional cubes on it, and the hand-woven scarves from also the leftover materials. For me, green fashion is really important because I want to make really beautiful and special garments, and I think the way I source my materials and use my materials has to reflect beauty as well as an idea and not only as a visual thing.
Ruda is the god of love. In Tupi Guarani, that's the language of the Brazilian Indians. The rings, they are inspired by nature and flowers and all the elements in nature. And the wood, when she carves them, she never knows where at the end of the ring, so it's always a surprise. O que a arte verde significa para Ruda? This is future consciousness. Conscience. Especially in Brazil, where so many wood are discarded. So for her, this is the spirit of Ruda because she recycled this wood that probably would be in garbage. So for her, this is really the future of fashion.
Hi, I'm Leora Lassalle, and I graduated in the last summer from Central St Martin's. After I graduated, I won a competition with Aesthetica and Veolia resource competition to upcycle Veolia's internal waste, so all sort of the dustbin man uniforms, the blue trousers, the high-vis jackets, and turn them into a new collection to show at Fashion Week. To me, green fashion is fashion with a conscience. The fashion industry is it's been sort of turned into something that's quite destructive, and for me green fashion is basically just slowing it down a bit and sort of doing it, realising what you're doing, basically realising it, doing it with a conscience. We've been using the reflective strips from the high-vis jackets. Been using the high-vis vests. Been using lots of the original colours as well, like the blue trousers, which I've used on the dresses. Obviously the luminous yellow, which is the main feature. padded it out, put pearls on it, contrast a bit with some pearls that I've found from car boot sales and stuff I've been collecting, to contrast with sort of the high vis and the yellows.